What's up, guys? We are back for a bit of a follow-up video today. So we're doing just a really quick one to take another look at the Diamond Select Real Ghostbusters Winston and Egon figures. So if you caught my recent review, you might have noticed that I was pretty frustrated and rather just disappointed with these figures for a number of reasons, most of which were all QC related. So my Winston figure had a broken proton pack, and then he had terrible paint applications, and both figures had their effect pieces broken. So what they're doing right now, I couldn't actually do that. So thankfully, I was able to reach out to Big Bad Toy Store, which is where I got my figures from, and they were able to send me some replacement parts. So as you can see, I've got a fully functional Winston now, and they both have their effect pieces. So, you know, big shout out to Big Bad Toy Store just because of the fact they were able to fix my problem. They got me figures in they'd sent out just replacement parts. They didn't swap the entire set or anything. So they sent me a Winston figure and 2 effect pieces. They had them in the mail the next day, and then I got them, well, a couple days later because the weekend got in the way of the mail. But they got them to me really, really quickly, and they are really fantastic. So I just want to talk real quick about what I got and give you a little updated thoughts on the figures themselves. So to begin with, I really liked the effect pieces just as they were. I think the idea behind them is pretty good. So the kind of, wavy plastic piece with the electricity going around it, I think it looks really good. They're functional. They work really well. And since I can actually use them now, it just increases my interest, so to speak, in these figures because this is how I want to display them. Let's be honest, this is what you want to have them doing. At least that's what I always want them to be doing, so that's a big plus. And just to demo them, you just kind of pop them on and off. There's a little plastic nub at the end, and you just stick it over the top of the proton pack wand. So you've got your Ghostbusters blasting a ghost or something. So there's a lot of play value there and display ability. So this is how I wanted to have them, and this is the way that I needed them to be displayed for me to get good value for money, because I just don't want them standing there. So that's a definite plus. Now, beyond the effect pieces, like I mentioned, my Winston figure in general was not usable as far as I'm concerned. So this was the original one, and the cord to the wand from the proton pack was snapped off in the package. So all I could really do was just kind of shove it behind him to make it look like it was holstered, which works well enough, but not well enough for me. So this figure was sent, and it's got a intact cable, and you could, make the argument that yes, I could have fixed it, but at the same time, the cables are recessed, so you have to drill out those bits, and frankly, that wasn't really something I wanted to do. I shouldn't have had to do that. That's more than a just standard QC issue. It was a legit broken parts. And then on top of that, this figure had some really bad paint apps. Like there's brown slop on his wrist, and there was brown paint in the plastic inner tray in the package, which I still can't really explain because that one really boggles the mind. And then he's got a big brown smudge on his butt back there too. So this figure in general, having the fixed wand and then, much better paint applications, I'm a lot happier with these. I get to display them the way that I want them to. I still think they have really weird hip joints. They aren't the most articulated figures. You can get them in decent enough poses. They are a little restrictive still. I still hold that the paint is a little goopy, to say the least. But in general, I'm a lot happier now that I don't have broken figures and unusable, undisplayable figures, at least as far as what I bought these for. So I'm pretty happy with them now, definitely more so than I was. I got a lot of comments about the fact that I was noticeably frustrated for maybe the first real time doing a review. They just let me down so much. So having non-broken pieces now, thanks to Big Bad Toy Store, I can definitely say that if you're a big Real Ghostbusters fan, you kind of need to get them anyway. But just, maybe pay attention to what you're buying. Just check them out. Be a little careful because clearly some of these pieces are a little more fragile than they may seem, but otherwise they definitely are nice to display once you get them the way you want. So that's it, guys. Just a quick little follow-up video on these figures to know that I do in fact actually like them once they're in good working order. So that's going to do it, guys. Until next time.